Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is another in a string of videos of a conversation that Mega Chepo and I are having about my belief that if a decision results in more life rather than less life, it's probably better. In his last video, he painted my beliefs wrongly a couple of times, and the first time he did it is when he said that because I live in a prosperous country, what I'm actually saying is that I don't have a problem with overpopulation and bringing life into the world before I fix problems because I live in a prosperous country. Well, I do live in the United States of America, but did you know I live in Louisiana? Did you know that it's mostly trailers as far as the eye can see? This behind me is a mobile home on stilts. Did you know that? Now you do. I am probably the most educated and financially successful person in my family, but I still support a lot of people in my family that are stricken with poverty, and I know a lot of the issues that poverty brings. My own mother used to stand in line in California waiting for what we called Reagan cheese. It was 5-pound bricks of cheese that they would give out for free for people who were in need. I know about poverty. Maybe not the extreme abject poverty that you can see outside of Mexico City, but I have seen that, and I've seen workers in the rice fields in South Korea, and I know what poverty is, and I know a different life than what you can see in the more prosperous parts of the United States. And I think it's wrong to assume that someone who has any sort of means doesn't know what a person of other means could be going through. Both Chepo and I can see that overpopulation is a problem. And if Chepo really wants me to understand that, then point for Chepo. I understand that overpopulation is a problem and that resources are limited. I am the person on my block with a garden in my backyard. The problem is I am the only person on my block with a garden in my backyard. I'm the only person trying to grow food as close to where it is consumed. I'm the only person on my block that probably has higher functioning thinking because I live in Podunk, Louisiana. What I'm saying here is, me being the only one on my block, even though I try to spread the idea that we need to consume less resources and be more mindful of our footprint on the earth, I try to spread these ideas. They don't take hold with a lot of people, and the people that don't care about the problem or can't care about the problem, they're outbreeding the smart people. And if you're going to tell all the smart people in the world to procreate less, then all we'll be left with is the mindless munching lemmings and locusts that I'm surrounded with in my neighborhood. Next, Mega Chepo mischaracterizes me by saying that I believe that everything can be solved with puppies and rainbows because I live in this wonderful country of the United States. And I'm going to say, I don't think that things can be solved with puppies, rainbows, candy, poetry, long walks on the beach, God, anything like that. I don't believe those things. But I don't believe that anything gets solved by Mega Chepo's negativity or giving up. Next, Mega Chepo accuses me of sneaky tactics in speaking, being dishonest, and not defending a position that I have, because I am saying that masturbation is okay. I don't believe that masturbation is wrong because it is mass murder. The point at which I chose to see life having a future was the point at which the sperm and egg come together. And for Chepo to say that I need to defend my position that sperm each are a future person, that's not my position. And I'm accusing Chepo right now of straw manning. I've heard about this thing on the interwebs and the YouTubes, that people will say that some people have a position and they need to defend that real position instead of talking around. I don't hold that fucking position. When the sperm and egg come together, there are actually millions of other sperm floating around that die at the same time too. Were all those future people? No. The point that I chose to say that life has a future is when the sperm and egg come together at conception. That and if you want me to defend that thought, I will get into that. But I don't hold the position that every sperm is sacred. I really like the Monty Python song because it's funny and it really pwns people who hold that position, but that's not what I'm saying. Next, Chepo asks the question, if a woman cannot choose for genetic traits because she was raped, why not let her choose afterward? Alright. Just to answer the question as stated, and, you know, throw away all these, I don't hold this position or that position. I'm gonna answer that question as stated. If a woman chooses after being raped to abort a child, she's not choosing for genetic traits, is she? She's choosing based on the crime of the child's father. And you're saying, if a woman can't choose for genetic traits before, why not let her choose after? Well, if she aborts the child, she's not choosing for genetic traits. She's choosing because of the crimes of the dad. The question sucks. You could probably reword the question into something that would pin me down. Please do. But that question sucks because she's not choosing for genetic traits. She's choosing based on the rape. Following this logic, why would we not let people use eugenics as a defense for killing their own possible future children? We're not even going to call them people for this one. I'm going to say that, and we're not even going to bring in examples of eugenics programs that were postnatal, like Nazis killing Jews. That would really complicate this. I just want to say that if we only choose for one set of genes and we rule out all of the genes that we think will be bad. We would rule out basically all of the genetic variation that we need to continue as a species. Special note, next thing Cheps just tosses in there, he calls me big fella, and it hurt my feelings almost as much as when Fitch called me a big man with a big voice. You know? Ow. I'm not one to cry ad hominem, but, you know, stay on topic. Stay on topic. Stay on topic. Next, Chepo talks about a mother's right to decide on her own body, and why doesn't that count for something? Maybe Chepo can't read English. It was in the addendum of my last video that was a response to him that I do not believe in criminalizing abortion. I believe that a set of moral imperatives exist which would make someone want to choose to not have an abortion. But I agree that freedom is important. What we're actually arguing about, in my opinion, is where freedoms overlap. The child's right to live, you know, the freedom to live, and then the woman's right to, or freedom to, you know, have her body do whatever she wants to do with her body. And without dehumanizing the fetus, without taking away it being a person, I can't come to the conclusion that someone's right to live is less important than the hardship of pregnancy. And all of that decision really comes back to where I just came to the conclusion that life starts. Back to that whole conception thing. And it's not even a religious thing. I just look at it and I see, you know, people who try to dehumanize fetuses are themselves apologists for abortion.